D&D is an ever-expanding toolbox. And in the new UA, we're talking about inspiration. How do you find inspiration at your table? And what is motivating? What is your muse?
I find inspiration from failure. So I look in the mirror every day.
Well, bless your heart, you little sweet one. Bless your heart. So here are some more tools to add to your toolbox. See you on the other side. I'm Baba Tucker.
And I'm Jackson Dean Chase, and together we are MageGate Games!
Yeah, and if you like role-playing games and rolling dice, you're in the right place, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. Today, we're talking about inspiration, and this is brought on by the One D&D, Unearthed Arcana, that you can find on D&D Beyond. This is in their PDF that you can download. So, inspiration rules in the rules glossary. Jackson, could you take us through that?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so here's what it says. Heroic inspiration. When you have heroic inspiration, also called inspiration, you can expend it to give yourself advantage on a d20 test. You decide to do so immediately after rolling the d20. Now, gaining heroic inspiration, a player character gains heroic inspiration if the character rolls a 1 for a d20 test. That 1 must be on the d20 used for the test's total, not on a d20 that was re-rolled or discarded. This heroic inspiration represents a character's resolve to do better after fumbling an attempt. The DM can also reward heroic inspiration to a player character who's done something that is particularly heroic or in character. And here's the last part of the rule: only one at a time. You can never have more than one instance of heroic inspiration. If something gives you heroic inspiration and you already have it, you can give your heroic inspiration to a player character in your group who lacks it.
Right on. So there's kind of a thing that I have that kind of irks me here. One, it's when I roll a 1, I don't know how inspiring that is, and I don't know how that would inspire me for later. Now, I'm not saying that, right, these are incomplete rules, these are play testing, it's not all done yet, but it did inspire us to come up and find some different things for inspiration. I was actually playing a game called The Waste Is Not Kind, and in one of their classes that they have called the Maniac, there's a thing called grit. They get to use this grit on their own, and normally there's a pool of grit that you'd use, but they get to use it on their own. And it reminded me of inspiration because they have this thing called Psyched. Now, my idea for this, and it's spurred on from the ICRPG, what if we take this one ability from there and apply it to the whole, like our whole table, right? So this is a get psyched action. So you can spend an action to gain inspiration, right? So you get 1 and then you can spend it. So this is for your character. You spend an action banging your shield. Come on, yeah, the riling yourself up right before the fight, right? And you can see yourself in a situation where you're actually like, how do you psych yourself up? And as a GM, that's a thing. The player says, okay, I want to spend an action to get psyched. I want to use my bonus action to do blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, how do you get psyched? Oh, all right. I start doing our chant. The bard starts drumming, boom, 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 on their huge war drum, and yeah, you start doing your chant, and you're getting psyched right before the battle. Awesome, you got inspired, right? The other thing, Jackson, we have an inspirational moment.
What about a pool of inspiration, right? That's capped at the number of player characters in your party, and you get to spend it as a group. And this will help spark communication at the table, and it comes in handy when you really want a character to achieve a result, like hit the villain or not fall off a cliff, right? So how it works is you can ask your party whether you can use a point, and if the group agrees, you can spend a point from the pool, and then hopefully you achieve that result.
Right. Yeah. And how you get them, I think, right, not rolling a 1 but rolling a 20, then you gain that inspirational point. And if you already have one, you give it to your a party member that doesn't have it. And if they already have one too, that goes into the pool. So you can also get it designated by the GM. Hey, you guys, that was awesome. I'm putting an inspiration into the party pool. It has the feeling of you are inspiring someone or, you know, your group. You did something awesome. Now those around you who see that are inspired. It kind of makes sense, right? Not, hey, I slipped, fell, and, got attacked by goblins. Oh, yes. Inspiring. Just, oh. Here's an example of getting psyched and of an inspirational moment. Let's set the scene. The PCs need to defend a bridge from an oncoming horde of enemies that will be arriving in one round. The GM asks, what will you do? The bard, Kweku, says, I want to drum to the beat of nature, casting plant growth in front of the coming horde. The wizard, Hiko, says, I want to ready a fireball for when they're in range. The fighter, Ogun, says, I want to get psyched by banging my shield and chanting an ancient war chant that was passed down to me from generation to generation to Kweku's drumming. Now, Ogun gains 1 inspiration from using that action, and now everyone's ready. The horde arrives. The plant growth has slowed down the enemies, and the fireball has reduced a lot of the minions. Ogun is now locked in combat with the brute, and Ogun gets a natural 20. This natural 20 is an inspirational moment. Now that Ogun has gained inspiration from an inspirational moment, he can give it to one of his party members and chooses to give it to Hiko because she's at 0 heroic inspiration. If everybody in the party already had inspiration, it would go straight to the party pool. If it's already full, that means your party's already psyched and inspired. This could also be turned into party morale. Maybe something more to think about. So yeah, that's our take on inspiration, how we can make it better. You know what you can do to make your day a little more inspirational? Go back, watch a lot of our videos, check out our books, and check out the links below. Let us know what you're thinking about the new Unearthed Arcana down in the comments, okay? What is this One D&D talking about? And how do you use inspiration? We want to know. Let us know. All right. See you in another video. If you'd like to see more things like this, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon. If you feel like supporting us and helping us bring more things to you and our community through the MageGate, go ahead and check out our links in the description below and join our Patreon. If you haven't picked up your free Heirloom Magic Item PDF, go ahead and check out our website where you can get that for free. Thank you so much again, and see you in another video.